What up, y'all? Anti-Negative back here with another brew in Standard, and again, we're back with the Grixis Copium. And this week, we're trying a different brew from the dude Flesh Eating Gnome, who is a Twitch streamer and pro player on the RC circuit. Very good player, but he's been messing around with this on stream, and I thought this deck was pretty cool, and I've been playing it a bunch, so yeah, I thought I'd do a little like deck tech slash just some gameplay, get this brew out there into the ether. And yeah, this deck is really cool. So what we're doing, again, similar to the Grixis haste brews, we got Frostcliff Siege, so we can haste stuff in. The big thing we're doing with this deck is Splash Portal and Quantum Riddler. So these two cards, really awesome together. You can have Riddler both enter with haste. This is kind of a later game situation as well. You can have him enter with haste, and you can also, you know, bounce him in the same turn that you play the Riddler in. Also, we got Stormchaser's talent, so we can have some early game pressure as well. And this is just a really like good value piece in this deck. Wasn't really sure about it at first, but I think that overall this card is really pulling its weight in general. You know, both with just, you know, looping Splash Portal and Quantum Riddler together, you can get like 5 power on this thing in like one turn. Also, you can buy back a bunch of removal. We have Fear of Missing Out. We have Profts, so we can draw a ton of cards, even with Winternight Stories. So yeah, this is doing a lot of cool stuff. And then we have a couple things at the top end here. This is kind of my own spice on it, is the Vestige, because you can kind of do a similar thing with Riddler here. And then, of course, we got Kefka, because Grixis without Kefka is not Grixis right now. This is Bolas. So we want to make sure we play Nico Bolas in the Nico Bolas colors. But overall, yeah, he can go right there. He can go right there, because we're usually playing those on the curve. Anticausal Vestige. Again, on turn 4 with Frostcliff Siege in play. Extremely good play. You get an 8-5 Trampler with haste. And then you get to put something into play here, which could be Trainer, could be, if you have 5 mana, you know, you can even put a Kefka into play. So yeah, just a really cool value pile. Just a lot of really good stuff. And don't think we're playing a single Spider-Man card outside of Multiversal Passage, but that's not a problem. We don't care about that. And yeah. Oh, okay, we have Detect Intrusion as well. And the sideboard's pretty solid. We have Annul for possible VV Cauldron decks, a bunch of stuff for the mid-range matchups as well. We have a Braid, another Kefka. Overall, Vestige and Kefka are for this kind of slower, like mid-range Kona kind of piles, because we want to make sure that we kill the Konas and then have big payoffs for later games. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hang out. Give me any feedback that you have about the deck, anything that you want to try, anything that you have tried if you've been trying to play this deck. And yeah. All right, let's get into the game. Okay, so we go first. I'm going to keep this for sure. 5 lands is not bad. It's better than 0 lands. This is also a 23 land deck, so keep that in mind. Definitely draws a lot of cards, so you're never really at a super big disadvantage by okay, we're gonna discard this land here. Drew a Trajectory, that's fine. Alright, we got the Chocobo. Chocobo's pretty annoying. We are going to have to deal with this Chocobo ASAP. They also have 1 mana up here with the Llanowar Elves. So what we can try doing is Splash Portal, draw a card. Might discard the Otter here just because I want FOMO to be online. Other scenarios, I could definitely like sacrifice FOMO as well. It would be a very bad thing for me to be like blown out by a protection spell here. All right, so we drew Riddler. That's good. All right, so we want to trajectory this, and then if they have protection spell, we torch and sack. All right, so we knew that was coming. So this is a kind of okay exchange. This is kind of what happens when you play against this deck. In general, you just gotta hope that they don't have like Mosswood Hydra here. So playing out Riddler's fine. Draw 2 cards. Now we go talent. This is why Riddler's so good. Because like if you only have 2 cards in hand, you just play Riddler. Drawing 2 cards is so good. Obviously, I could have waited on playing a land there because I drew a tap source, but it is not terrible. Not a deal breaker. We also have this Watery Grave turning on our Verges. All right, so we can draw another 2 cards here. Riddler's just cooking. Got another Stormchaser talent. Awesome. If we have to, we can torch something, but for the moment, I think we're fine. We just want to make sure that we, again, make sure Mosswood Hydra doesn't do anything, or Tifa. And we have 2 talents to buy stuff back with. All right, so very, very simple game. All right, so now this is mono green, so we want to just probably take out all of our top end with Kefka and Vestige, put in all of our removal. Fire Magic also works here. Betrayal's really good. I think we want both of those. And then that's probably it. Okay, I think we just cut Kefka and Vestige here, or we can cut a Siege. That's also fine. We're not super all in on being like the beatdown here. We kind of just want to grind them out. I also like the Abrade here, so I'm not opposed to the Kefka staying in. All right, so let's get into it. Game 2. Again, biggest threats: Mosswood Hydra, Tifa, Bristly Bill. Those are the 3 things we need to look out for. The Chocobo as well is like something we need to kill early, so it's not as much of a problem. This hand's not terrible. Okay, so we got a starting town, even better. Turn 2, we can play like Canal's really good too. So we can play FOMO here. Since they're not getting on the board, we might as well. I think we're going to discard a land here. Probably the Gloomlake Verge, since Passage can turn on future Verges. I think we're going to hold on to this Winternight Stories. Just want to think about it for a second. Yeah, we also drew our only Siege, so that's also pretty cool. Alright, so get rid of that. We drew a Watery Grave. It's fine. I think we're going to play Eidetic Memory here. Could have also played Riddler with the Siege, so like Siege into Riddler. Now drawing the Splash Portal, definitely was correct to do this. The Hydra is pretty rough. And they have the Passage to back it up. That's fine. So this is going to probably decide the game right here. So I have to pressure this Hydra right now. Force them to crack it so they do any type of protection spell, whatever. So we could splash portal the Riddler here. But I think we just need to kind of like draw some cards, look for some outs. We have no outs in our hand. Riddler would have not been good, so let's just ditch it. Now we go Stormchaser's talent. We can get in with like, so we drew 3 cards, 6, 9. Put into 2 this turn, and then I think we just lose on the crackback. I could hold back and then try to like. The thing is I have nothing to back up. Like after I just like sacrifice my board. So I think I'm gonna make them have it just in case, you know, because like I have 18 HP here. We're getting the GG. Okay, so that is game. Yeah, that's game. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so same game plan. Just want to make it through with all of our removal and stuff. Draw removal. That's it. All right, let's get into the next game here. Game 3 for all the marbles. So I think this like mono green matchup is a good benchmark for this kind of deck because like, you know, where you can like look at VVX thing, you know, obviously that deck probably is going to be gone in like a few weeks. So we're not going to really worry about that. If you're super worried about those matchups, you know, take this deck, sit on it for a couple weeks. It'll probably be more playable through those things. This deck's already pretty playable, but been playing all day today and haven't seen any VV on ladder, so. But yeah, creature decks like this are a good benchmark for a deck like this because we're more of a tempo beatdown kind of brew. So if we can't get through like mono green or mono red or some other kind of creature based deck, yeah, I would say that's probably not a good place to be. We're gonna just play our Riddler out, I think, and then draw a card. Only drawing 1 here, but say if I draw Splash Portal, then it's like super worth it. So I think it's always worth to just do this. All right, didn't hit, but you know, it was worth it. We also have 2 starting towns, so all of our mana is available here. If they play just a Mosswood Hydra as a 1/1, I can kill it. We also have Trajectory up. Let's see what their game plan is. Scavenging Ooze, interesting choice. It's not super terrible against us because of the FOMO and Stormchaser's talent, so. Okay, we're gonna go Torch the Tower. I think we want to do this right now just because, you know, I don't want them to eat more stuff from my graveyard. There's also the possibility of me holding this torch so I can kill a different thing and then Tragic Trajectory on the ooze. But I think the best course of action is we just play Watery Grave tapped, sacrifice the Stormchaser's talent, or third option, we can sacrifice our Otter token, keep our talent so we can buy something back. I have a good amount of things to do. I could also play that Fire Magic next turn, so there was the option to play that Grave untapped there as well. But we're just going to play like this. I think it's pretty chill. Into the Flood Maw is good. We definitely like this card because it allows us to reset one of their big guys. It's worth thinking about what you do if, like, you know, what are we looking for? Only other thing we're looking for here is on top land so we can play Riddler. Sure. We're going to kill that in our turn because we have the trajectory for it. We're not going to Fire Magic because we can't there. Definitely don't want them to have the Chocobo, so. Hit them for 2, hold up Flood Maw. We also have a kicked fire magic here. Llanowar Elves, Insidious Fungus. Not a bad card against us as well. I think they kind of overboarded for us a little bit. I think they should just be worried about protecting their game plan as opposed to shutting down our game plan. Which again, that's a good thing that we're putting them in that position because our game plan is pretty strong early. So if they don't answer us, then it puts them in a position of like, okay, well, you know, that Proft's just won them the game. FOMO's winning them the game. Stormchaser's Talent's winning them the game. Frostcliff Siege is another one that wins me the game, so. Winternight Stories. We have a Proft here, so I think we're ditching this Fear of Missing Out. Because I can play my 5th land and get Profts. I want both of those things. I think that's a little bit more important than my FOMO. Even though it's pretty close in like what I'd want to do here. Definitely not discarding 2 cards, so it's always something like this here. This also becomes a 7 power creature. So I just drew like 4 cards here. Okay, another land is not bad. Now I have 6 mana up with Riddler. It is very nice, opponent. I'm just going to mute you before you go into the ether of toxic emotes, but so far they're pretty chill. We're just going to keep them there. I'm usually pretty chill about emoting. Depending on my mood, what time of the day it is, I've been known to be toxic with my emotes. Like if I face like 10 VV decks in a row, you might see me drop a Sleepy Hedron. Alright, so here I think we just fire magic. Because if we fire magic and then like make them think we have something else, like this will just be like GG for them. Alright, so they can blow up my Profts in response. This is like a complete like blowout for them. I can't kill them this turn, but it's close. Alright, so I think, yeah, we locked it up. They thought we had like Torch or something. GG. Good game, Mono Green. Wasn't a bad game. Alright, we got another game here. It's very keepable. We have lands and spells. Again, 23 lands in this deck, so let's see what we're playing against. We are on the play, so we can play out Stormchasers on 1 here. Sounds pretty good to me. I love Stormchaser. I actually just bought a full playset because Stormchaser's talent's down to 250. I believe that means that it's time to buy into this card. Ain't going anywhere for like a couple years. 2027 Stormchaser's talent rotates, so we are not afraid of buying that one. Okay, so we got Scoured Barrens plus a Voice of Victory. I think they're life gain. I'm not a big fan of letting this Voice of Victory stick, but Frostcliff Siege on 3, I can hit them for 4 right now. Sounds a little bit better than killing the Voice of Victory. I'm gonna make them have some type of like, again, we don't know. It could be sacrifice. If it's like Sephiroth or something, I'll want to kill a Sephiroth. Okay, cool. Case of Uneaten Feast, that means it's life gain. Heyyy. This... that sucks for me. That is 6 life. All my hard work. Either way, it's fine. It's fine. Let's draw a card. Gain 6 life. hit me for 3. It's fine. Alright, so we drew the Riddler here, which is really cool. So I'm going to sack the talent. I don't care about buying something back right now. Again, this deck is more of a tempo kind of deck, so what we want here is just to set up Splash Portal, and like we have all of our engines here. So if we draw an untapped land here, ooh, and that's the one. So now we can, I think, hit them for 12 here, because we are going to draw 2 cards with the Riddler. We have a 5/6 flyer that just was splashed in, and then we're going to get 2 counters from Profts. So yeah, they go to 6, and they only have 2 mana. So yeah, that's turn 4. We're putting them down to like pretty much death here. Boom! And that 6 HP they gained literally kept them alive. Okay, so now to the sideboard. Again, this is a creature deck. It's not the more mid-rangey kind of matchups, so I don't want to play the kind of mid-game plan here, so let's just take our Vestiges out. Kefka could probably also go. I don't really care about annulling anything. It could be worth to duress them. I don't know what kind of removal they have, or that can also hit their case as well. But it's fine. So let's get into game 2 here. We had like a perfect rollout of like on game 1 there, so they also were pretty stuck on lands. But they also had their case set up, and they could have like had an Essence Chandler, other things like that. I'm gonna keep this. I'm keeping this because I'm on the draw now. If I hit Multiversal Passage, Starting Town, like all that. Oh, Spirebluff Canal as well. So we're gonna keep that. Go Stormchaser on 1. They have the Scour Barons on 1 as well. We don't have any colored sources for the Riverpyre here. Also missing black mana is a little bit rough, but it's okay. We're just gonna slow them down with this voice. I don't want them drawing a card next turn. Yeah, so it's fine. Sit them for 2. Remember, every ounce of damage definitely helps against them. Another portal. It's fine. I don't want to Riddler yet. We're just gonna Frostcliff Siege. Again, this is why I really like Frostcliff in this deck, because in the Grixis haste pile, it felt like you wanted to play a lot of other 3-drops on 3, so taking the turn off to play the Frostcliff kind of felt bad in a lot of situations. That's why we were playing Brynhildr. And Brynhildr could even fit in this deck. We're just playing FOMO, so FOMO is very good. Duress, yeah, they can definitely play that. Probably the Trajectory, since my Splash Portals don't do anything right now. What's funny is my Splash Portal, I think, would draw me a card if I flicker this Otter token. Yes. Fortunately, I don't have any mana here. Guess I have removal for my Riddler. Bummer, dude. That sucks. I'm gonna hold, I think. It does feel better just to play it, but 7 damage when I'm at 17, I can just like hold out for a bit. Not in any dire situation here. Although, you know, this game can like turn south pretty quickly. And here it is. They have the Heyyy, so now they can draw a card. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. So that turns into 6 damage here. Gain 5 life. Pretty annoying. Hey, at least they're like spacebarring through their triggers. I like that. There's some life game players that are just like, do not do that, and it's probably one of the most annoying things in the world. Yeah, so very nice about it. So I drew another Riddler. And now we have the blue mana to flicker twice here. Oh, that sucks. It's so many lands, dude. I mean, at least I have the Multiversal Passage to turn on these verges now, but it really just is so many lands. Okay, the torch is really good here. It might have been worth to hold on to my Stormchaser talent. In which case I would sacrifice the Frostcliff Siege post-combat. 2 cases and I guess removal. They seem pretty chill about just dropping those out. They just go to 3. All right, so any spell here. Damn, bro. Listen, if I kept my Stormchaser here, then I would still be putting them to 1. I would have been able to buy something back, but I would be missing 1 damage from the Frostcliff Siege. Alright, well that's pretty bad for me. Alright, if we just had that last turn. What a bummer. I drew a lot of lands this game, so it is what it is. I think even if I swing here, I'm still pretty dead on board. And it is kind of a misplay to not swing there. I will admit that was not correct. That was not correct. I should have definitely swung there. Bit of a misplay. Alright, I just want to see my top deck here. And it's a torch. Yep, that's it. That's game. All right, we go to game 3. All right, not much to change here. I think everything kind of works. We could even play a vacuum, but I don't think it's worth it. All right, game 3, final game. Let's get it. For all the marbles, I'm keeping the 5-lander. Again, with this deck, I'm very okay with 5-landers. We got a Duress come in. 07 to the Profts. 07. We'll play Thunderclap. It's pretty close here. I think I valued the Stormchaser a little bit more than the Trajectory. Getting 2 lands out of the way is really good though, so either way I think I'm happy with whatever I do here. Okay. We're killing that on sites. I just want to save all the life I can here, so I could have played a tapped Multiversal Passage, but it's okay. Darkstar Augur. This is kind of a rare card. Alright, so I can definitely draw 2 here if I let them block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them block. Also, we're not going to let Auto Tapper just willy-nilly tap my black source. Well, actually, I have the Watery Grave, so my Verges are actually turned on. Rare. We also have our talent still, so I don't think we're going to need to sacrifice that at any points yet, although we can. I think I want to keep my talent intact. I want them to block. Fine. You twisted my arm. Okay, so we got the Flood Maw, and it's turned on because of Watery Grave. I have the 5th land for my Riddler. Let's see here. Voice of Victory, it's pretty annoying. I'm just gonna bounce it, I think. Nah, you know what? We're gonna kill it. So we're gonna use our Stormchaser here, I think, and then yeah, let's take blue mana. Already got 2 red sources. Let's take more blue. Let's make sure Auto Tapper doesn't sabotage us. Because we're going to be sacrificing it. Or I can just sacrifice my token. I can always like... Yeah, I think we're going to sacrifice a token actually. Even though it kind of makes more sense tempo-wise to sacrifice the talent. We're going to actually sacrifice the token, I think. I really want to sacrifice the talent though. But just in case nothing like... I like that top deck, so we're gonna keep this. All right, so again, we just want to slow down something that's like cumulative for them with this Flood Maw. I can also kill a token with the Flood Maw. There's a token. I was saying the token because of the Augur, but this time it's the Cleric. So we could definitely bounce that Star Save Cleric back. Nah, we're gonna hold because I need to make sure that oh, that's a pretty good card. I'm a big fan of that card right now. I kind of want to just like... Those can't block, so we're swinging, right? Yeah, we're going in. Kind of want to just flicker the trainer. Alright, we've got the case. There's their life gain source. Then we got the Essence Channeler, annoying. Really, really annoying. But just as I said before, we wanted to keep this Flood Maw for a cumulative source. So that's what we're going to do with it. So there it goes. We're bouncing it back. Pretty annoying. They had to stop there, so... Alright, the Frostcliff Siege is huge here, so we love this. We're going to take it. It's going to tap all my red. I'm just going to allow that, I think. That could come back to bite me if they have a torch, but... Or no, if I draw a torch or something like that. So let's go... FOMO. Annoying. It's fine. That cost them a ton of mana. All right, let's go Splashboard on this. I wanted to do this last turn, but now I can like draw 2 cards off of this. There's the torch, and that was off the top too. I'll take the Betrayal here. Man, if they have one more spell here, can just cook me. Oh, great. All right, so they're in a bad spot because I have pretty much everything that's going to shut them down here. I could even scry with this. I don't think I need my talent anymore. Let's get rid of this other 1/1 flyer, I guess. Get in for 2. They're at 9, so they need something really good off the top here. Oof. That's 2 lands in a row. Okay. So we go Riddler. We draw 2 cards. Yeah, we're gonna draw 2 cards. So I was thinking like maybe we trainer first, but let's just Riddler here. Draw 2. It's another Riddler, another trainer. All right, let's go Splash Portal on the trainer because it has haste, remember? So we want to set up the win here. So that's a land. And there's a Stormchaser's talent. That's a 2-1. All right, they're dead. We got them. Boom, perfect, 9 damage. Dude, this deck is so good. I love it. All right, so again, like with any brew, like you kind of want to keep it so, you know, like give it a few games so you can learn all the different lines and stuff. Don't like sell a deck out because you lose a couple games to some random matchups. It's really, really good against a lot of these creature decks. Against some of the more mid-rangey things, like I would say like Kona is kind of stuff I've struggled with a little bit. You could definitely like sub out some stuff on the sideboard or even mainboard for some more targeted removal that's in black. Specifically for like Shoot the Sheriff or Bitter Triumph. Things of that nature. Otherwise, I think the deck is really solid. And yeah, Quantum Riddler is just such a good card that it will keep you going when you think that the game's like pretty much lost out of nowhere. Just by, you know, virtue of drawing 2 cards off the top deck with Frostcliff Siege and Profts, it just can also end the game as well. So it can both get you back in the game while ending the game at the same time. Probably one of the reasons why it's so sought after in Modern, because you can like exile cards from your hand and immediately hellbent yourself, and then Riddler just kind of rebuilds everything, especially with like the Psychic Frog. So Psychic Frog and Quantum Riddler, just obviously one of the best combos that you can do like that. It's such a fair combo too. It's like definitely an amazing card. One of the best cards in Standard right now. Not even an opinion. This is just like, just so good. Yeah, so remember to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Dude Flesh Eating Gnome because that's where I kind of got this deck from. Obviously it has a bunch of elements from like the haste stuff that I've been doing, but it's running Stormchaser's talent and Frostcliff Siege and Profts. One of the better Grixis piles, I would say, that is out in the ether. Less copium than some of the other stuff. But yeah, if you want to check out some of the brews or my podcast, feel free. I would really appreciate that. And be sure to leave a comment. Would love to hear any thoughts that you have about the deck, maybe some changes that you might make or anything like that. But yeah, appreciate you. Hopefully see you soon, and peace.